Hello learner, I welcome you to this second video of Unit 2 Aspirations of Indian Society. In this video, we will discuss about the role of education relevant to Indian society. Now before starting the video, I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Neel Kamal Saran, faculty of School of Education, IGNOU. In the present context of human societies, education emerges as a single most important tool in bringing about both social change as well as social sustenance. Education serves as an important instrument of social change by liberating people from the darkness of ignorance, ritualism, and irrational belief. It enables people to provide logic to thought, action, and behavior. Education also works as a social sustenance mechanism by instilling the values, aid attitudes in people that are human and uplift the ideals of mankind. In the Indian context, education has to be instrument in achieving the cherished aspirations of Indian society. Now, after going through this video lesson, you will be able to explain the need of self-esteem and self-actualization, and also you will be able to discuss the role of education in achieving these social aspirations. Now, I have already said that in the Indian context, education has to be instrumental in achieving the cherished aspirations of Indian society. So, the first one is self-esteem and respect. Joel, 1987, he said that in the year 1987 said that man does not live by bread alone. What does this mean? A person, if he or she is given or his or her need of bread is fulfilled, can he or she be able to live in a good manner, in a self-satisfied manner? No, it is not true. Man cannot live by bread alone. He needs something more than that. His emotional need should be fulfilled in the society. He needs that needs if that needs are not fulfilled, he is not able to survive in a satisfactory manner. Maslow has pointed out the needs of human beings for security, love and respect, other than the satisfaction of his basic requirements of food, clothing and shelter, that is physical need. Maslow has given a hierarchy of need. In that hierarchy, the lowest level of need is physiological need, that is food, clothing and shelter. But human being cannot live if only this basic need is fulfilled. He or she wants that his another need like love and belongingness need, he needs to be respected. Those all needs should be fulfilled in order to lead a satisfactory life. So, for the progress of any society, it is essential that man's basic emotional nature is understood by his fellow beings and his intellectual and spiritual needs are fulfilled. Thus, An atmosphere is created wherein there is a mutual respect amongst all members of society, and a new social order emerges without discrimination, inequality and marginalization. This is the need of time, that such an atmosphere is created where the human being get respect among the members of the society without any type of discrimination, inequality and marginalization. Education can be a very important medium for the development of such a social order. School is an arena where the child learns to form relationships in society. It is generally agreed that the human personality grows, develops and matures through relationships with others. But the school has to ensure that the relationships are not based on wealth, social status, material possessions, etc. And you, being a prospective teacher, you should be able to ensure that in your school the relationships are not based on any type of wealth or social status or any kind of material possessions. The values of honesty, you need to inculcate the value of honesty, cooperation, hard work among your students right from the early years of their education. Then they will grow up to be individuals who strive for excellence through their dedication and commitment, and will respect all fellow human beings who toil hard and achieve their goals in their fields of work. Such individuals will never have elitist notions of one form of activity being superior to another, as long as they are socially relevant. According to Joel, man live by their work, and it has much more than mere survival value for them. What does it mean? Man, the importance of work in life of an adult has to be recognized by the education system, because demoralization and disintegration of human individual is prevented by the opportunity to work, because it provides him or her the respect of his fellow beings, as well as enhances his or her own self-respect. In order to get the respect from the fellow beings and to enhance his or her self-respect, man need an opportunity to work. If it is not given to work, if he or she is not given an opportunity, their emotional need will not be fulfilled. They live by their work, and it is much more than mere survival value for them. Also, it is not idleness, but the frustration in that idleness sets in operation the regressive process through which men break down and lose their self-esteem and respect of others. So, in order to maintain the self-respect, self-esteem and respect towards self, it is important that man should be given an opportunity to work in the society. Thus, education has to be geared for the development of various skills and competencies which will provide employment opportunities. The ideal of vocationalization of education envisaged in NEP 1986 has to be achieved in India if we have to create an atmosphere of mutual respect, and NEP 2020 also emphasizes the importance of internship, development of skills among the students. So, these skills needs to be developed if we want to make our individuals satisfied and contribute towards the nation. The education system should also inculcate in students the respect for different religions, beliefs, rituals, etc. This will develop secular ideals in students right from childhood. Secularism is essential for the achievement of all Indian aspirations. This country thrives on respect and tolerance for all religions, and all future citizens should learn to appreciate such an ideal in an unbiased manner. Remember, it should be developed in an unbiased manner. We should not be biased for a particular religion, particular belief, particular religion, particular state, and for a particular language. Educating for mutual respect is incomplete if it fails to provide women their rightful position and respect in society. We need to inculcate among our children that it is not true that women should be discriminated. It should not be there. It should not be done that women should be discriminated from the opportunities. They should not be given the opportunities as we are giving to men. They also have equal right and respect in the society. Similarly, empowerment of women and their participation in all spheres of national activity has to be made a prime goal of education, and it is on the soldier of you being a teacher. You need to inculcate these values among your children. Efforts has to be made to eliminate gender bias and sex stereotyping in any portion of the curricula. The curriculum should be such that it should eliminate the gender bias and sex stereotypes. Like there is one famous stereotype that women are not good in mathematics. This is a famous stereotype which should not be there. All the examples in the syllabus or curriculum should eliminate the gender bias and sex stereotypes. By educating women and providing them a responsible status in society, India can reduce poverty levels, improve productivity, ease population pressure, and offer its children a better future. And you, being a teacher, you have to do in your school, you need to develop these values among the future children so that they can become better citizen who can contribute in the national development. Another one is society and awareness. There is an urgent need to develop a global understanding about perspective of the ecological, economic and moral consideration of all. In the present context, it has become essential to improve all ecological relationships, including the relationship of humanity with nature and people with each other. Both are important to lead a good life, that we should improve the ecological relationship, we should improve the relationship of humanity with nature and people with each other. It becomes imperative that every nation, according to its culture, clarify for itself the meaning of such basic concepts as quality of life and human happiness in the context of the total environment, with an extension of the clarification and appreciation of other cultures and beyond one's own national boundaries. So, beyond our own national boundaries, we should appreciate the culture of others also. It is not that our culture is good, their culture is bad. We should learn to appreciate others' culture also. It has to be realized which action will ensure the preservation and improvement of human potentials and develop social and individual well-being in harmony with biophysical and human-made environment. The knowledge of ecological repercussions on the very substance of human life on earth has to be delivered through education. With the help of project and field studies, it has been clarified that poor environment makes national development impossible, as it fosters how poor environment makes national development impossible, because it fosters health problems. If we will not clean our environment, it will create health problems. Similarly, there is qualitative deterioration of natural resources. We are unnecessarily misusing the natural resources, slowing down of economic development, which increases poverty and misery. Climate disturbances are there, which endangers existence of life. I will explain this whole scenario with the help of one example. All of you must have seen one advertisement on television, that once a father and a son, they were going in their car, and because of the traffic signal they had to wait on that signal. When they were waiting for the green signal, the father who was driving the car, he did not switch off, or he forget to switch off the car. The car was on the running mode. So he asked his son, while waiting he asked his son that, what would you like to become when you will grow up? He said, Father, I will open a cycle repairing shop. Father said, why will you open a cycle repairing shop? The child said, the way you are misusing the petrol, we will not get the petrol in future for our use. So, in that case, in that scenario, all of us, people will use bicycles. Then in that case, my shop will work in a very good manner. All the people will buy bicycle. Immediately the father realizes what he is doing. By keeping his car in a switch on mode, he is misusing the petrol. So this is the natural resources which are non-renewable. We should not waste the natural resources which are non-renewable, which we cannot renew. And these misuse also create pollution, environmental pollution, which creates health problem also. So this is the basic example, and another example also you can relate to this need of environmental awareness is the COVID-19. When COVID-19 came, there was a huge need of cleanliness. Repeatedly, the government emphasized on the importance of cleanliness for good health. So we need to keep ourselves aware about the environment and also the ecological repercussions because of our misuse or unawareness towards our environment. NEP 2020 also focuses on the importance of environment awareness. So it focuses that our curriculum should include environmental awareness also. The future children should know that how our environment is important for our survival. Next is need for self-sufficiency. It means to be economically independent, self-reliant and self-supportive. For the survival of any society, it is essential that it is self-sufficient, self-sustaining. That is, the society should be able to provide its member the requirements for survival, progress and development. Then it is said to be self-sufficient or independent in true sense. If the society is unable to provide its member the survival, the requirements for survival, progress and development, the society is not a self-sufficient society. So it should be a self-sufficient society in order to provide the country so that they can contribute to the national development. In the 75 years of independence, India has been able to achieve self-sufficiency in almost all sectors of human activity. India has been able to produce food for the masses. It has been able to produce automobiles, textiles, chemicals, pharmaceuticals and produce most sophisticated weapons to save its territory. This achievement would not have been possible without the development of education system. Education has provided the scientific and technical know-how essential for such progress. The following measures are essential in education system for India to maintain its self-sufficiency. The first one is investigating in primary and adult education to ensure literate people who are aware of the impact of population explosion on self-sufficiency of India. Integrating health and nutritional services into the educational system to look up a more productive population. Setting up rural universities for the scientific and technological development of agriculture and stressing environmental education to control ecological degradation and conserve all natural resources, particularly non-renewable natural resources. So these are the measures which are essential in education system to maintain its self-sufficiency, that is to become an independent country. Next one is self-actualization. Human being has higher order needs other than biological needs like hunger, thirst, etc. He or she needs love and respect also. Abraham Maslow developed his theory of self-actualization, which offers a positive approach towards motivation and growth. He arranged human needs in two divisions. First is deficit needs and the second one is growth needs. The first need is satisfied easily, but the growth need refers only to the need for self-actualization. After the satisfaction of physiological needs, the next higher order need becomes prominent. If the psychological needs are satisfied, only then an individual can think of his or her growth need. If the lower need, that is physiological need, safety need, belongingness need, these lower needs are not satisfied, he or she cannot think of higher order need, that is need for self-actualization. Self-actualization is the individual reaches the highest potential to which he or she can reach. So education has to play its role so that such an environment should be created where there is a focus on the complete education of an individual, where he or she thinks of progress of society and think of fulfilling the need of self-actualization. School has to ensure that the relationships are not based on wealth, social status and material possession. The higher order eternal values like honesty, sincerity, tolerance, cooperation, respect of nation and other people should be inculcated in children so that they develop as a committed and dedicated citizen. For self-actualization, one needs congenial environment so that the government has to see that all get equal opportunities for the growth of the individual and the society as well. And you, being a teacher in your class, you should take care of all these things for the development of self-actualization, for the children, to help the children to reach their self-actualization need. You should provide them equal opportunity in your class. You should respect the individuality and you should provide the freedom to express their feelings, thoughts, their creativity, and at the same time you need to modify your teaching according to the needs of your children. Next is participating in national development. Indian education has to prepare citizens who can contribute to the development and progress of the nation. So the education system has to clarify the concept of development itself. In recent times, due to opening up of markets and globalization, development has come to be associated with increased consumerism. This could not be further from the truth. Uncontrolled and even increased production or demands for material goods is actually detrimental to the concept of development. It increases the gulf between the rich and poor and creates havoc with the environment. Thus, education in India for encouraging participation in national development has to aim healthy outlook, healthy change in the outlook. Education should bring a healthy change in the outlook towards other individual, towards the nation, towards the other religion, towards other beliefs. So, education should be such that it brings a healthy change, a positive change in the outlook of the children. Another goal should be the development of human resources. Education should be such that the human resources should be developed. A skilled and efficient persons who can contribute to national developments should be developed through education. Education should provide the individual an opportunity for their skill development. Whatever skill they have or they want to possess, the education must provide an opportunity for the development of those skills. Next is the development of attitude. Right education should be such that right attitudes should be developed among the children. The education emphasize on new knowledge, skill and attitudes that can help in the national development of the country. Next goal is development of democratic and secular values. Education must inculcate among its citizens the democratic and secular values. What are democratic values? Freedom, equality, these are the democratic values, and these needs to be developed in our children. And teacher, they should provide a democratic environment in their classroom if they want to develop democratic and secular values among their children. They should respect the individuality in their class. The another goal is national consciousness. Education must provide ideological articulation, promotion of national consciousness to help people to see their needs and problems in national perspective. But at the same time, how this national consciousness will come if the child is not able to afford 2 times meal? He or she is unable to afford to get education. So it should be, education should be such that children should be given an opportunity to learn, so that this, if they will get education, the right kind of education, they will grow up, they can grow up a human being who is national conscious. Next is increasing the physical quality of life index. Education must focus on biological well-being of mankind and ratio of intellectual labor value to total labor generated in a society. Another aim is social and national integration. Education must teach for social and national integration. Education must focus on the importance of social and national integration. Education must focus on economic progress. Educational progress must be for national development. Education must emphasize on economic well-being of individuals and the nation. Another aim is synthesizing scientific, spiritual and cultural values. Education can bring harmony between spiritual and scientific values. Another aim is peace and international understanding. Education must inculcate in citizens the feeling of peace and international understanding in order to lead a peaceful and happy life. Next goal is prevention of environmental degradation, which is a must, and education should make the individual, should provide the individual the awareness towards their environment, and also the repercussions of the environment if we unnecessarily misuse the natural resources. So in today's video lesson, we have understood that self-esteem and respect. Education should be such that the self-esteem and respect of the individual should be taken care of. Education must provide an opportunity for the children to so that they can fulfill their growth need, and also education must be such that it inculcates among its children the national development. They can participate in the national development. There are some assessment questions. First one is explain the need of self-esteem and self-actualization, and the second question is discuss the role of education in achieving these social aspirations. Thank you.